Gent Bench. My name is Derek and I'm your host for Gent Bench. So this week I'll be talking, this month actually I'm doing a series known as Triple J's of Manhood. So these are, the first J is Jijue, the second J is Jipange, and then the last J is Jenge. So I believe as a man, at least you need to understand one of these aspects for you to be a better man. So this week I'll start with the first J, which is Jijue, and I'll be talking about something that is very close to home, and that is what I understood about manhood versus what I understand right now about manhood. So to be honest, we have always been taught to man up and to be quiet and provide, even when things are not working on our end. And this left me with a lot of questions. And growing up, I was shaped by my surrounding, and that is by tough dad, by silent uncles, and movies that were shown to me, showing me that you should never cry as a man. I believe this is the case for everyone, because we always have the same raising when it comes to that. So I've always believed as a man that you need to show up, you need to provide, you need to provide a shoulder to lean on, even when things are not working on your end. As you know, they normally say that mwanaume ni kukaa ngumu. Do you kaa ngumu even when things are not working on your end? That's the question that I'd like to ask you today, because even at school or at home, you are always required to show the best part of you, to always smile, even when things are not working on your end, or even when things are worse on your end. So this experience, so this mindset nearly threw me under the bus. When I say this, there was a time that I was doing something that is very valuable to me, and I failed at it terribly. I failed at it very badly that I was even ashamed of myself. I started locking myself indoors. I didn't receive any calls when people called, or even when someone tried to reach out, I would try to give an excuse or something. But I later opened up to one of my friends who kept on asking, how am I doing, how are things? But the moment I decided to open up, something happened on that day. I felt relieved, I felt hard, I felt like there was a huge burden taken off my shoulder. I felt like I started feeling myself again. I started doing things that I love. I started talking to people. I started receiving calls. So this event left me with a lot of questions personally, and I was always eager to try and understand, what does it mean to be a man. So I turned to God to try and get better understanding of what man is. I turned to reading, podcast, and even doing a lot of self-reflection to see whether I'm making any better decisions when it comes to manhood. So today, I believe that being a man is more than just a name. It's more than just a gender. It's all about emotional intelligence and not emotional silence. You need to show emotions to those you love. You need, like, not emotions in a wrong way, but whenever you feel things are not working out, you need to have a group of friends that you can talk to and call them and tell them that this and this and this is happening, and I don't feel that it's right. You need to have a support system. As a man, I believe that you need to have those who can recharge you when you feel you are low. And then the other understanding that I have always, or I've come to, I've learned, is that being manhood is all about humility. Like, you can't just be a man and brag. You can't be a man and be rude to everyone. Remember, you are created the head of the family. So it doesn't mean that you have to boss people around. It means that you have to treat them with humility. You have to handle them with care, because these are blessings that God has given you. And apart from that, the Bible says that you need to humble yourself for you to be lifted up. So it doesn't mean that you just have to humble yourself before God. You have to humble yourself also before men, because I can't have an opportunity and share it to you when you always show me the negative side of you. Yes. And then the other thing that I also learned, that being a man is all about yeah being a man is all about, it's all about peace more than pride. So I believe as a man, there are so many things happening, there's so many things going on in your head. So the moment you choose peace, that is a win for you. So you need to understand, what are some of the things that I can do that can always guarantee me peace? What are some of the things that I always do that always give me peace of mind, peace at work, peace in my home, peace with my finances? You need to note them down so that you make sure that you cultivate them day in, day out. Because the moment you make them an habit, trust me, you'll always have peace. People will ask you, how do you afford to have peace in the midst of a chaos? But this is because you have chose to know yourself. You have chose kujijua. You have chose to build on the things that you really trust. And lastly, being a man is all about listening without judgment. You need to listen to people whenever they tell you something without judging them, because number one, people are going through a lot of things that probably you don't understand or you don't know about them. And the moment you start being judgmental to them, that it means that you are killing them in one way or another. You need to listen without being judgmental, because that's the best thing you can do in that case. Be a shoulder, be a support system, but always remember that you also have yourself to take care of, which brings me to the next point. You need to always put yourself first. In everything you do, make sure that you are the number one priority. This is something that I really learned late, when things were already messed up on my end, but it's something that I'm cultivating slowly by slowly. You need to learn to prioritize yourself, because figure it or look at it this way. Let's say that you don't prioritize yourself, meaning that you always put your siblings in front, you always put your loved one in front, and you always care about others and forgetting yourself. This means that you won't even have money for clothes, you won't have money for food, you even forget to take care of your bills. And what will this lead to? This will lead to you getting in troubles, maybe with your landlord, getting in troubles with your health, getting in trouble with your finances. So in everything you do, remember you're the number one priority. You need the energy to go at work to provide. You need the energy to go and take care of other people that you need your love. Apart from that, you also need finances to take care of other things. So you need to put yourself as the number one priority in everything you do, because they normally say you need to put your gas mask first before others do it, so that you can able to assist someone who is sitting next to you. The moment you don't put your mask, it means that you will support them to live, but on your end you will die. I don't know if you are getting my point. That's putting yourself a priority. But basically, that's what I have. You need to put yourself first. You need to put yourself first. You need to be humble. You need to listen without judgment, and any other thing that is relevant. All above all, make sure that you're the number one priority. You need to have a support system. That is very important as a man, because the moment you have a support system, I believe there are things that you will not keep to yourself, because the moment you talk them out, the moment you tell them, you feel a sense of relief. You feel like there's a burden taken off your shoulder. There's an example that I normally use mostly when I'm talking to people. I'll use it here. Let's say you are washing a utensil. So instead of pouring the water out, you decide to keep the water that you have used to wash the utensils in a bucket that you have sealed. So for the first day, probably the water will not smell. The second day, it won't smell. The third day, trust me, you won't even sit in that house, because the water will be smelling. That's how our health or our mind works. So the moment you put things to yourself, maybe for the first week it won't hurt you, for the second week it won't hurt you, but trust me, there will always be a negative impact towards you. Probably it will start weighing you down, or you'll realize that you're turning away from people, or you'll feel that there are things that you always like to do but you cannot do them right now, or it will affect your health in one way or another. So having a support system is a very important thing. Have 2 or 3 people that you can rely on, that you can talk to, and you can tell them whenever you feel low, whenever you feel things are not working out for you. So I know you're wondering probably why are you so passionate about this? So I'm passionate about this because we have been raised, I feel we have been raised differently, and we have been given a wrong version of being a man or what manhood is. So we need to flip this card, because for the family to be better, for the community to be better, for our finances to be better, for our health to be better, we must start with ourselves. Lazima tujijue as men. We must first of all know ourselves. Like, we need to understand what are some things that give me peace, what are some things that I'm struggling with when it comes to my finances, what are some things that I'm struggling with when it comes to our relationship, what are some things that I'm struggling with when it comes to my health. The moment you know what you're struggling with, you now come up with a plan on how to work on them. And trust me, the moment you keep on planning and doing and working on these negative things, I believe each and every day you are becoming a better man, because this is not a one day thing, it's a continual, it's something that, it's a gradual, that something that you need to do each and every day. You need to purpose to make yourself a better man. So thank you so much for joining me on the bench today. And if this story resonates with you or hits home, kindly share it with a friend or someone who is struggling to understand what is it to be a man, or someone who is stuck somewhere. Probably they need to hear this message. They need to prioritize themselves. They need to start loving themselves more. And next week we'll be learning, or we'll be going to the second J, which is now Jipange, which is masculinity in the era of technology. I know it's something that will sting a little bit, but I welcome you to the bench. Let's have a discussion. Let's sit. Let's make manhood better. And until then, kindly sit, relax, reflect, and let's build this Gent Bench. Thank you for watching. See you next week.